What's up, my beautiful people? So it's your girl, my beautiful people, guys. It's your girl, Misha. We're just kicking it. What's up, guys? So today we're doing a reaction to, as you can see, we're ending this right now. Pastor storms off during interview. I'm really interested about this one. Also, I had to skip forward because he has his own little intro going in his channel thing, whatever. Yeah. So let's just hop right into it, guys. Let's see what's going on.
He's the senior pastor of the
Alright, so this guy right here is Kurt Thomas, the senior pastor of the Renewed Church of Los Angeles. Let's see what's going on.
Renewed Church of Los Angeles. Am I right?
Yes.
Renewed Church of Los Angeles. Thank you for coming.
Well, thank you for having me.
I absolutely appreciate it.
Thank you.
And so, were you called to be a pastor, or did you go to school for it?
Well, at the age of 9, I felt the presence of God over me. I grew up in a Pentecostal church, so I went through that entire Pentecostal experience. And it wasn't until I matriculated through college that I decided to get a bachelor's degree in theology, or to study theology while I was at Stillman College.
Oh, I see. So God didn't call you. You decided to go to school for it.
No. I believe that I was called by God to do what I do.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
And why do you believe that?
Why do I believe that I was called? I know that I'm called to do what I do because
Before we continue, he had to change his position, guys. These are some tough questions. Let's continue.
because I have a passion and I have a desire to see people elevated from where they are to where they need to be.
Oh, okay. And when you say where they are, do you believe that human beings are in a fallen state?
Explain what you mean by that.
Fallen. You're a pastor, you should know.
Yeah, but that would explain what you mean by a fallen state.
Do you know? Do you believe that human beings are in a fallen state? You know what fallen means, right?
A fallen state means that they've fallen from the grace of God.
Yes.
Is that what you're? Okay.
Right.
So
Okay.
I believe that that humans have fallen from a fallen state, but with the whole deal with reconciliation, I think that God reconciles us back to Himself.
So you do agree then that human beings have fallen away from God, right?
That humans have fallen away from God according to Adam and all that. Yes.
And then at some point, those who seek Him will come back.
Those who seek Him are that He's called back to them. Yes, then they will.
Is it possible to overcome that fallen state?
It is possible to overcome that fallen state if we accept Christ back into our hearts.
Right.
So
how does one know when they're in a fallen state?
Well, a person will know that they're in a fallen state when they don't live a life that's acceptable. I believe that's really acceptable to themselves. So like a person that is a drug addict, or a person that is drinks too much liquor, a person that maybe possibly not living their best life, or doing what they're called to do. I think that those people are the people that find themselves in a fallen state.
So when they're not living their life according to God, then they're in a fallen state.
If you're not living a life that is according to the principles of God, yes.
Then you're in a fallen state.
You're in a fallen state.
So if I read, and I don't know if it's true or not, I like to ask the person before I mention, know if it's true or not. Are you a homosexual?
I am a same-gender loving man.
So does that mean you're a homosexual?
It means that I'm a same-gender loving man.
But just from, I'm black and slow.
Okay.
And just for the record, does that
He
mean
said
you're
black
a
and
homosexual?
I could be considered a homosexual.
Are you considered? I don't want to think of you if you're not.
I'm a homosexual.
You're a homosexual?
Yes.
And so you're a homosexual pastor?
I am a homosexual pastor, yes.
How long have you been a homosexual pastor?
I've been a pastor for 8 years.
I like how he corrected that. You're not going to title me as a homosexual pastor. You're going to title me as a pastor. gonna respect me at the end of the day. But let's see where it's going. Let's get right back into it.
The senior pastor, and then before that, prior to that, I was a youth pastor.
Oh, okay. Why do you think that God would call a person, a homosexual, to be a pastor, but not change him?
So, I don't think that God majors where we minor. And so I think that what happens is I think that we put limitations on God that God doesn't have. For example, we could, if you go to seminary or something like that, you find out that there's a thought process that God could possibly be a woman, or that God could be this, or that God could be that God can be whatever it is that you need him to be.
Now I know God can be whatever you want him to be, as far as doctor, therapist, but as my father, I don't need him to be my sister. Okay, I have enough of those. Look.
Do you believe that he can be a woman?
I believe that God can be whatever it is that you need him to be.
So can it be a homosexual too if you needed him to be one?
Well, honestly, I don't think that God, the Bible says that God is neither male nor female.
Right. So how can he be a woman then if he's not a female?
Well, I'm saying that, so there's a book that's who's the book by? There's a book that is written, it's called, what is it called?
But that's all right by the title. What about the book?
But in the book, the principles of the book talk about God swaying himself to this, and it's called The Shack by W.M. Paul Young. And so if you read that book, then you find out that God basically finds himself congruent to whatever state of mind a person is in. And so at one state, God is a Jewish carpenter. At one state, God shows himself as a big black woman in the kitchen cooking.
Big black woman?
A black woman in the kitchen cooking. And
so you think God can be a big black woman?
I think that God.
I remember that movie, The Shack. Really enjoyed it. Let's keep going. We'll talk about that then.
It can be whatever it is that you need God to be at that moment.
Do you think that God can be a homosexual too?
I don't. If God needs to be a homosexual, I think that he was, but I don't liken him to that. I don't liken the word. I don't liken God to be to be an isolated gender.
So you believe that God can be a woman, or be a black woman,
God
or homosexual?
God can be whatever you need God to be.
And so does that person make God what they want him to be in their mind so they can accept being wrong? Or does God switch genders and all that kind of stuff?
I don't think that I don't think that God, that we create God to be whatever we want.
I hear a lot of thinking. What do we know?
It's based on experiences. The experiences of that person allows God to transform himself in whatever it is that person needs to be. For an example, if you've ever gone to Africa, or if you've ever gone to a part of the world where there's no westernized religions, where people they don't have an isolated form of who Jesus is or what he looks like, opposed to what you were talking about earlier.
Right.
We don't know what he looks like, and so since that, God becomes whatever it is that person's experience.
But those countries that don't believe in God, they are S-hole countries, and they're all trying to come here now and bring their S-hole attitudes.
Their S-hole? What is that?
Huh?
What is that?
What is S-hole country? It's an S-H-I-T hole.
Oh, you're saying that they're S-hole countries.
Right, because those people don't believe in God.
I wouldn't say that they don't believe in God. I would say
they don't believe in the real God. They have their own made-up God based on their imagination, right?
I wouldn't say that. I would say that we experience God on the level that we know God. So if you have somebody that is an Indian and they've never had anyone explain to them the ideology of God that is created here in Western culture, then I think that
What
that
is
person,
Western culture?
Western culture is where we are now. It's what we operate in a canonized version of the Bible in which we accept as the authentic truth of
But Western culture is the best culture, right?
I wouldn't say that.
Then why everybody trying to come here? If we're not the best, if Western culture is not the best culture, why everybody trying to come to what's not the best culture?
Is everybody trying to come here?
Everybody and their mama. Have you noticed we can't even keep the illegals out?
I wouldn't say that everybody's trying to come here,
Yeah,
but I would say that there are people that are trying
from all over the world
to come here from all over the world.
Right.
Yeah.
And so if we're not the best country, why are they trying to come here? Why don't they go to the best country?
We can consider ourselves to be the best country,
But we are the best.
and
And that's because of Western culture.
Well, I wouldn't use the word best. Maybe I would use the word. We're probably a country where people are allowed to be free and be themselves.
So we're the best.
Okay.
If you say best, then I'll go with that.
So I want to go back. You say God is a black woman.
I didn't say God was
Black
a black
woman.
woman. I used the book as an analogy
That God was a black
to
woman.
show us that God could be whatever it is that we need God to be.
Amazing. Do you believe that book?
I believe that God could be whatever it is that we want God to be.
Really?
Yes.
Me as a Christian, I do like that analogy. Because based off our experience, what we've been through, I'd rather you use, positive things, whatever you need him to be in that setting, instead of coping with drinking and using God as that, if it makes sense, let's just get back into it.
So you've been a homosexual all your life, you said earlier, right?
At the age of 9,
Why do you keep bringing that up?
I knew that I liked the same sex. Yes.
How did you become that way?
I didn't become that way. I knew that was my innate nature to like men.
And so how did your nature go from a natural nature of being a man or male to an unnatural nature of becoming a woman? How did that happen?
You said the unnatural nature of me becoming a woman?
Yeah, you were born a natural male, right?
You're born a natural male.
Right, you were, right?
I am a male currently sitting here in front of you.
But how did you go from being a natural male to an unnatural woman?
Who's an unnatural woman?
But isn't homosexuality is like being a female feelings?
No.
What is it?
No.
What is it exactly?
Being gay is, or being gay, being a homosexual, whatever term that a person wants to use to identify themselves, it's an innate state of being. It means that this is who that person is. If I'm not a woman, I'm a man sitting here in front of you having a conversation. I have a penis, just like you have.
Well, you do have the male parts, but now they're cutting that off too. Did you hear about that? We'll get to that. But do you feel inwardly? Do you feel like
what is
a male
wrong
or
with
do you
him?
feel like a female?
I am a male sitting here in front of you.
No, but what do you feel like?
I feel like a male.
Inside?
I am a male sitting here in front of you.
I realize that, but inside, do you feel like a man or you feel like a woman?
So before we continue, he's stating that he's a male, but he has those attractions to another male instead of, a male having an attraction for a woman. He has his attractions for a male. Everybody has their own opinion. Mine is, I don't agree with male liking male or female liking female. I believe male likes female, female likes male, and keep it that way. But to each his own. Let's get back into it.
I am a male sitting here in front of you, so that answers your question, right?
I know.
I don't feel like anything because I am a male.
You don't feel like neither male nor woman?
I am a male sitting here in front of you.
I realize that, but what makes you
heated.
think you're a homosexual then? If there's not a feeling on your side, why do you think you're
homosexuality is not a feeling; it's a state of being. It's who the person innately is. It has nothing to do with. It has nothing to do with creating a feeling that you're talking about. It's an innate. It's the innate nature of who that person is. I innately am who I am. me being gay or homosexual has nothing to do for me with being a man. It has everything to do with my preference and who I choose to sleep with.
What does the word innately mean? What does that mean? I'm black and slow. I don't know what that means.
The word innate. The word innate means that I'm not changing or I'm not becoming something else. I am who I am.
He's still a male. He just his attraction.
The show, you said that you introduced your. Is he your husband or your wife? Is that your husband? He gonna be your husband or your wife?
I'm gonna end this interview.
Why?
Because we're ending this right now.
Why you want to end?
We're ending it.
Well, why come back?
Take this off. When you want to have a real conversation, no, you're bullshitting me.
Come back.
I'm not gonna be a part of that. Come take this off of me, or I'm gonna take it with me.
But why are you running?
Come take this off of me, or I'm gonna take it with me. Please take it off of me.
Really?
You're disrespecting me.
But no, man, you really.
Please take it off.
Am I asking him real serious questions?
No, it's okay. Oh, be quiet.
No, that's not
Okay, so,
Just take it off.
yeah.
But tell me why you running.
Down?
I'm not running, sir, but when you want to have a real conversation, you have my information.
But you said that you were gonna.
When you want to have a real
I'm gonna play it through because I try not to have too much music in it, so it won't get copyrighted. So let me see.
conversation.
They're still arguing, having. I understand why.
I asked if you were calling him husband or wife. Come back.
So I understand why he doesn't want to have the conversation anymore. It's still. Okay, so I'm gonna let it play through for a little bit to see what's next. It's gonna stop?
So the deal is that was.
Okay, they're not gonna stop playing music. Anyway, that did seem like a heated conversation.
Pastor of the Renewed Church of Los Angeles, and he is.
They did have a heated conversation. I'm gonna just cut this off because he's still gonna play music. That conversation was very intense. Me sitting there, I wouldn't know how to answer them questions with a smile on my face and being calm at the same time. Yeah, again, that was the pastor, and this individual is, what is his name again? What is his name again? Somewhere here. I just know it's the Fallen State. Jesse Lee Peterson. I had to look that up. Jesse Lee Peterson, guys, that was Jesse Lee Peterson, and that was the pastor. Yeah, again, I wouldn't know how to do that, because, me, as a Christian, it ain't gonna sit well with me. But guys, I thank you so much for taking the time out to view this video. If you can go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe, go ahead. I'm gonna give you a moment. Okay. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Until the next video. See y'all soon.